Hi guys, it's Luetin here. Now, as you know, I travelled over to Stockholm, Sweden this week for the Battlefield 4 reveal event, but looking at the release there was only one part of that visit. We also got a chance to attend a couple of short lectures talking about various elements within the game, the art direction and design of it, Frostbite 3, and the way the story for the single player is created and what it means to them at DICE. Now, I'm going to break down for you today Frostbite 3. I got some good notes and annotation from that lecture, and I really want to kind of discuss around it and give you the breakdown, give you the detail, because a lot of this stuff, as I say, has not really been looked at. A lot of people are talking about the trailer itself and not really understanding some of the things that are going on behind the scenes, and I hope that I can shed a little bit of light for you on those things. So to start off with, Frostbite, it's the most adopted technology platform currently within EA. It's produced titles like Need for Speed, Dragon Age, and as well as Mass Effect. Now, it started off in 2006 as an internal DICE technology, and they started developing what would become the Frostbite Engine then. The first game that it shipped out on was Bad Company, followed by 3 more games on the initial engine itself. Now, whilst working on the sequel to Bad Company, a rehaul of that Frostbite engine was developed, which went way beyond everybody's expectations, and this saw the release of Battlefield 3, which was undoubtedly one of the biggest steps forward in the Battlefield series. Because Frostbite 2 was such a huge step forward, Frostbite 3 was never going to see that same level of progression, because it simply was not necessary. Instead, Frostbite 3 we see more of an evolution of the engine, not such a leap. The development of this started back in 2011 and is now finally coming together, bringing us to the release of Battlefield 4 on Frostbite 3. Now, in the time between Frostbite 2 and now, the whole engine has been given a full overhaul. And the reason that DICE chose to do this was to increase the quality of their games and maximise what they could make from the existing consoles, but importantly it was also to provide the best product for high-end PC platforms. Now, before people jump on me there and say, well, is the game just coming out on, current console platforms? I know from speaking to people at these events whilst I was there, I spoke to several people, and again, whilst people cannot go into detail, I know I was told in sort of vague terms that I could break down that what they're doing currently is really developing for those next-gen consoles, and the game itself will be scaled back, but using the power of the Frostbite 3 to ensure that the game that you get on current consoles is still a quality title, but just it will not have obviously the full capability that you would get on those next gen consoles and high-end PC. Now, DICE have created the perfect model to test out Frostbite 3 with Battlefield 3. And during this time, they were able to work on perfecting and developing further the Frostbite 3 engine, as well as making for a more smooth transition between Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. The fact that Frostbite has been used across multiple other titles means that it only increases the development team's ability to learn and improve that Frostbite engine. Knowing that by collaborating with other games and so on, it produces a much stronger and higher quality result for them than if it would be developed alone in isolation. Although the size and the development team for Battlefield 4 has increased now, simply throwing the weight of numbers at these problems that come up is not how they've tried to deal with what's required to bring Battlefield 4 into fruition. What they've done is use what Frostbite 3 will provide to create ever more efficient workflows, meaning that when creating environments in levels, designing light, animating characters and so on, these components are viewed by the team on multiple platforms in the real game. And this can be seen in effectively immediately providing a much higher quality final product, as well as being extremely efficient for them in developing games. With Frostbite 3, DICE now want to set the new bar even higher, creating a game that's both dramatic but also very believable. The characters and the environment they act within is obviously key to this, but also with all the footage we have seen within the 17-minute release, what some people do not seem to realise is that all of this is in-game engine. There's nothing pre-rendered there at all. And something else I've seen stated in the past 48 hours by many people is that they are saying that they felt that no change has been made to the way the characters move, and there's been no real development from Battlefield 3 there. But to me, yet again, this shows that people are very quick to comment on things that they really have no information to back up those statements with. In Battlefield 4, a whole new animation system has been created to ensure that when characters have been modelled using motion capture, the animations that those sequences connect with will become as flawless as possible, to the point that you should not be able to really see where the two connect. And this is really what Frostbite 3 is doing. It's improving and really refining down all those details to give you the highest quality experience that you can have. And this means that when combined with the in-game rendering that Frostbite 3 provides, you're going to have a really engaging experience that's going to draw you, pull you right in there. And for all those people out there that are saying that these events have not shown anything worthwhile because people want to see the multiplayer, I'm just going to repeat what I said on another video yesterday, that this, to be honest, is just sheer ignorance. People need to see that technology like Frostbite 3 is being showcased, it's being explained, and it gives a very clear indication of what experience you'll be able to create in the multiplayer of Battlefield 4. Now, if people can't see the difference between 3 and 4, they need to start looking at things with a little more care and attention, and it's nobody's fault that they can't really see the development that's taking place. If you actually take the time to look, you will see how the characters behave in a much more complete way, as well as other animations having more refined detail. Also, elements such as the ragdoll physics and animation have been improved to give a much greater depth and sense of involvement. And again, as I said, that will link directly into the multiplayer experience for obvious reasons. Now, as we said in the beginning, Battlefield 4 and the Frostbite Engine is much more about an evolution than a large leap. And with that in mind, you'll see new changes such as forces being put into effect. This means that you'll see, for example, plant foliage, dust and smoke all being affected by wind forces. And this will give you the feel of everything being more alive and dynamic. Dynamic lighting, shadows, particles also come heavily into this. And forces that could be helicopter crashes, towers falling down, grenades exploding, everything like that. There's even global wind and local wind forces to affect the whole experience and its environment around you. Destruction as well has always been a strong element, and this will be the 4th title to use that as a keystone for events in both single and multiplayer. Now, what you'll see in Battlefield 4 is not just more impressive destruction, as we saw with the massive explosions in the trailer, but also different types of destruction, more directed at key events and elements that we haven't seen before. And this was shown to some extent in the collapsing building, but the destruction will be elaborated on more with future events and releases. Now, there's no doubt that Frostbite has been the most important foundation of all Battlefield games since the inception of Bad Company. And Frostbite 3 continues to build on all the work that has been done to this point and carry it forward into Battlefield 4. What we've seen in the trailer gives a strong indication of new dynamic elements that have been created to give a richer, more full experience, not just in single, but for the multiplayer as well. And this, combined with the amazing skills of the level, weapon, character designers, as well as everyone overviewing the production of Battlefield 4, means that from my point of view, when all this is combined with the vision and power that is Frostbite 3, Battlefield 4 is going to yet again set the bar extremely high when it comes to the next generation of software and hardware alike. I just want to say, guys, thanks for watching today. I hope this has been an insightful video for yourself. I want to thank again everybody at DICE and EA who created such an excellent event for all of us who travel to Stockholm. Please be sure to rate and share the video, guys, and I'll see you very soon for some more Battlefield.
You'll back me up, right?